Hey guys, I know I said that we weren't gonna do another chimps mode, but I lied because I found a really cool strategy, and yeah, we're just gonna do this. So, basically, I found out that Buccaneer can solo until round 17 with a single upgrade, which is great. You do have to micro him a little bit, but it's nothing extreme. Now, I bet you're wondering about the second tower. Why would you have to micro all the way to around 17? That doesn't make sense. That's not worth too much, right? Well, our second tower is very expensive. We're actually going to go with Churchill as our second tower. Anyways, with this single upgrade, he'll solo until we can buy Churchill, which is grand. So, last night, me and my pal were recording Minecraft. And I got a texture pack specifically for the series. I hope you guys like it. I personally like it. The only issue being that water doesn't look like it's flowing, but that's very, it's not really all that important because everything looks cool. Everything looks nice. I like the pickaxes especially. It makes them look like a scythe. But yeah. Um, This is fine. Oh crap, I forgot what I was going to say. I got my staples removed yesterday, but I think I already mentioned that, so that's whatever. I do have several subjects that I would like to talk about, however, I'm not sure how many of them I can talk about on YouTube. You know, I was on TV once. It's true. I was on TV. I'm in a show on Amazon Prime, and I'm only in there for like 20 seconds, but I exist in the show, and as such, it's not really a show, because back in 2018, I used to live in Paradise, California, but back in 2018, it had a massive fire that wiped out most of the town. And so, that wasn't great. I lost my apartment. It's not really my apartment, but my family lost our apartment, and wasn't good at all. But using the money that we got from FEMA, we were able to buy the house that I'm currently living in, so not all bad. This is a 5-bedroom house, like, it's pretty good. Boom. Told you. Right, so Churchill and Monkey Buccaneer, I've already done a full chimps mode, just testing them, and it does work on every single round, so we shouldn't have the usual hiccups. Speaking of hiccups, my voice just cracked so much. That's not on the topic of hiccups, but you get my idea. My voice cracked quite a bit. So, yeah. I'm not very good at Siege, so that explains why it didn't get many. Actually, you know what? The reason it didn't get many views is because I'm not a very good YouTuber. That's why. That's the entire reason. That being said, there are you, the faithful, who actually do watch my videos, and I would like to thank you for it. I say thank you a lot, but seriously guys, you're the best. So, I don't know if I've told this story, but the other day, right, I went and I got a pizza. Okay, I got a pizza from the a, an Italian restaurant. All right, you know it's local, but I went and I got a pizza, right? And it's called the Big Cheese, and it's a 22-inch pizza, and I was like, oh, oh, 22 inches? That's like the circumference, right? No, no, it was 22 inches in diameter. It was a very, very large pizza. It took up half the table. And mind you, I was going to split it 50-50 with my brother. There were 8 slices. He only ate 1, and I ate 3 that night. Actually, he didn't even finish 1 slice. He ate like half of 1 slice. Like, you know, he pansied out of it so much. My mom wanted a slice, and as such, she did get a slice the next day. Uh, but she cut hers up, you know. Mine, however, were all full-sized, and I kid you not, they were like the size of my torso, right? Like, obviously, you know, not my whole torso, but they were the length of my torso. And they were about as thick as my head at the top, and then they sort of just tapered down.
Yes.
And it was so good. Like, it was an authentic Italian pizza, and it tasted great. I say that about a lot of things, but it tasted great. Oh yeah, another good thing about this duo is you can even afford the aircraft carrier before the actual Moab, which isn't required. You know, Churchill should be able to solo the Moab with his machine gun. That being said,
Yes.
yeah, we're actually going to prioritize that before this, because otherwise, if we don't spend a bit of money on Churchill and get him the levels early, then he won't be level 20 in time for the BAD. Not that he needs to be, because, you know, aircraft carrier can just clean up, but, it's a little bit annoying if you don't. My original strategy actually had me going all the way up to 202 and then placing Churchill, but I realized he didn't get enough XP to be level 20 for the BAD. Not that it's required again, but it is more convenient. It also helps with the DDTs. So I decided we'd place him early this time around, and it's working, you know, it's not as though it's difficult at all. That being said, I don't think a lot of these chimps mode are difficult, they just require patience, and they require a lot of trial and error. Like, I tried one with the Sky Shredder and the Wizard Lord Phoenix, and it would have worked, except my timing was bad. I had to use the ability to do one round because I didn't want to micro, but then the next round I actually needed the ability, and I didn't have it ready, so I wasn't able to do it. Which is a shame, a real shame. But, you know, my timing's bad. That's really all it boils down to. And then I tried a Sarbamba and a Wizard Lord Phoenix. And the thing is, Sarbamba, we've covered it. It's really good, really nice. But Wizard Lord Phoenix, for this price, it should be way better than it is. It gets a permanent Phoenix, and then it gets an ability to turn into a quote-unquote Magma Phoenix, which is really, really strong, right? But it's only good whenever he has that ability in use. Otherwise, a Phoenix doesn't do much in the late game. It's pretty worthless in the late game. Wizard Lord Phoenix, he's alright for the first 80 rounds. But once you get to like round 95, even just round 91, he's really bad. And there's Carrier Flagship.
Yes.
Now we just have to focus on Churchill. We focus on Churchill until round 100, and we should be able to get maybe level 20. I don't inherently know how much it'll take, but we'll probably get pretty close to level 20. At least we'll get level 19. The Moab Barrage helps a lot in the 90s whenever you have to worry about DDTs, because it can completely take out a fortified DDT, which is very nice. You know, another story I haven't really told is back whenever I was in elementary school, right? My brother went to the same elementary as me. You know, that much can be inferred. And I kid you not, there was one day, right, where he had to use the restroom, and the teacher wouldn't let him go. She was like, "Why didn't you go during lunch?" And he said, "Well, it was busy." And she said, "Well, wait until after class. You get a 5-minute break." And he took the hall pass, left, went to the restroom, and then as he was coming out of the restroom, I heard a commotion, and it turns out that some teachers had confronted him, and he started to run, and you could see out the door, and this was incredible, because somehow, for some reason, he was able to get the assistant principal to actually start chasing him. And I swear to God, I think that's the most exercise she had gotten in years, because she was panting like she was just dying. I thought it was funny. I thought it was grand. Even got to go to school early that day. It was great. Until the assistant principal slipped and fell on her ass. That wasn't so great, because then he actually got in trouble. And my mom took us out of that school because he got in trouble. And then I was homeschooled for several years. I'm still being homeschooled. It's fine, though. It's fine. Occasionally, I get to go to public school. You know, like every 3 or so grades, I get to go to public school. Hey, around 69. Nice. But yeah, just 2 years ago, I went to public school. Wait, 2 years? Is it 2 years? I went to public school for 6th and 8th grade, right? And that was neat. You know, that was pretty cool. Because during 6th grade, of course, I was very awkward, you know. And then during 8th grade, I kind of shed that layer off. And I did really, really well, right? I'd like to think I did really well socially. You know? That being said, I could entirely be lying to myself. Who knows? But yeah. That's that. Hmm. You know, I'd probably say that the Buccaneer is my favorite tower. I don't use him all that often due to lack of water, but I played with it in Bloons Tower Defense 5, and I played with it in Bloons Monkey City on my tablet, and I just love the Buccaneer. It's so good. Like, I mean, the sub is alright too, but it just doesn't have the same potency as a top path Buccaneer. Like, if you were to go with a sub and compare one to the top path Buccaneer, I'd probably compare the sub commander to the top path Buccaneer, and it's just not as good. Then I'd probably compare Preemptive Strike to the Monkey Pirates. Preemptive Strike is better, but it can't hit camos. And then obviously, you know, Merchant to Reactor, they can't really be compared because they have very different jobs. But if we're being honest, Reactor sucks. If you're gonna go with camo detection, just for the love of God, get a Village or get a Shimmer, you know, literally anything else. Because the submarine going top path is actually genuinely a waste unless you're using it for the 50% hero bonus or just the ability cooldown. Like, that's the only time it's useful. I can guarantee you that. Alright? It is so worthless other than that. Like, it can pop balloons, right? And it does a decent job until you get past round 60, and then it can't really pop a ceramic balloon. And that's like, come on. Why? Why do you struggle so much? It's easy. I mean, you see Churchill and the Buccaneer popping ceramic balloons all the time. It's so easy. I don't know why. I don't know why it's like that. But whatever. Hmm. All attacks do extra damage against fortified balloons. That'll be nice. Oh. So, I'm running out of stuff to talk about. Oh, jeez. I watched a horror movie last night, right? And it's called Come Play, okay? And the big baddie, is a monster named Larry. And if you're trying to scare people, I wouldn't go with the name Larry, It's not scary at all. You know what is a scary name? Literally anything but Larry. Come on. If Larry was approaching you on the street, you'd ask if he had a beer. Whereas if, like, Rob approached you on the street, you'd be like, oh, do you have a beer? What I'm saying is, don't use a human name. Human names aren't scary. There are very few human names that are scary, right? Like, I don't know, that instantly removed some of the scare factor. And then, the monster was like 9.5 feet tall or so. That's my guesstimate. Don't quote me on it. But it was all skin and bones. And you know what? It traveled through electricity, right? I guess that's cool. It's not an original concept. I've seen it done before, but it is neat. They pulled it off semi-well. They pulled it off decently, right? But, alright, they had a baseball bat, a metal baseball bat, and they didn't use it to hit the monster. Instead, they used it to hit the lights. Yeah, they hit the light bulbs so that he couldn't come through the electricity. The only issue being, alright, that's not how lights work. Electricity will still be flowing even if the bulb itself is not in there. If you have the light switch on, it's still giving electricity. Alright? So that's bull hockey. There was no point in doing that. Because he can still travel through it. Come on. But yeah, they didn't use the bat to hit him. He's 9 feet tall, 9.5. But he's skin and bones, and literally nobody ever tries to actually hit him. And I cannot comprehend why that is. I can't comprehend it. Because it would have been so easy, right? You can only see him through a camera, okay? Alright? That's his whole shtick. But, alright, hear me out. Just strap a GoPro to your head, right? I don't know, literally any kind of solution would work. I think I'm activating that too early, because I'm gonna need it for round 93. This could be semi-bad. Never mind, it was easy. I've got 7 rounds to get 3 levels. Do you think I'll be able to do it? I don't know, these are good money-making rounds. There are a lot of balloons. Round 94 is gonna be a little bit annoying, but we can handle it. We need to keep our powers around 95, at least most of them.
That's it. You're on pace, Mark.
So then, we're actually not going to use our powers, our abilities to pop these Oh My Gods, because we can handle them anyways. But back to the subject at hand, right? Nobody hit him. They didn't even go for like a cheap punch. Literally nothing. They were like, oh, he's 9.5 feet tall? Guess I'll die. They didn't put any effort into it at all. In the end, the child's mother, because the monster's after a child, in the end, the child's mother gives herself up instead. And it astounds me, because I would have traded the child just to keep my life, you know? Like, I don't know about you guys, but I'm not a huge fan of children anyways. They're pretty needy. And I am somewhat of a child, so I think I would know.
Yes.
And I just would not trade my life for my child's life. If my child opened up a portal letting some sort of monster through, that's his problem, right? That's not my problem anymore. He did it. It's his fault. He can handle it himself. I mean, I know compelling emotions, all that jazz. But, like, seriously, you know what that monster did? He was both a murderer of people and a murderer of finances. I tallied up the price of everything that they broke trying to get rid of him, and it tallied up to like $11,000. They spent $11,000 trying to get rid of, their son being haunted. Why? Why? Get rid of the son. He's not worth $11,000. He's a child. He doesn't make money. Just get rid of him. Get him gone. He's worth less than a sack of potatoes. Like, seriously, come on. You know how much children eat? Too much. That's how much.
What next? That is how. Hell from above. Hey.
I need to keep some of my abilities, but that being said, I think we have to use this ability here.
Try this.
No, I think we're good. Oh, that was pretty clutch. Okay.
At your service.
And then boom, 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 boom. There we go. Pop this. Alright, good. And that's round 99. Okay, so I guess no matter what we do, we just cannot afford that.
Try this.
Hmm.
Hell from above.
Well, this is round 100. Pretty easy. As long as this dude snipes the balloons at the exit, we should be fine. Hmm. Hmm. We need at least one of our abilities whenever it pops. Just for the DDTs. There we go, we should be fine now. How much quicker is that ballistic missile thing? Anyways, there we go. 2-tower chimps. Super easy. I hope you guys do it, because this is probably one of the easiest 2-tower chimps I've ever done. Like, I'd say that was easier than the boomerang, alright? And the boomerang, bottom path boomerang, that one was pretty easy. Not gonna lie, Moab Dom and Prince of Darkness, pretty easy. You could even do Churchill and Prince of Darkness, but you guys have seen enough Prince of Darkness and 2-tower chimps. We're fine without. That's gonna do it for this episode, guys. Thank you for listening to me rant about how characters in horror movies are absolute idiots. They are, it's a fact. I'm sorry, but every horror movie I watch has at least 2 idiotic characters that don't even go for a cheap shot. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Doesn't hurt you. Do it. Yeah. Goodbye.